Welcome back. So now we're going to look at the first of the two challenge solutions that I put into the exercise set for the first session. So number 6, challenge. Write a Python program that asks the user to type in their favorite number. You should then multiply that number by 7, store the result of the multiplication in a variable, and print a message to the screen that says, user number may be your favorite number, but multiplied number is my favorite number. The placeholder user number should be whatever number the user types in, and the placeholder multiplied number, I've actually spelled multiplied wrong there. I should correct that. Anyway, the multiplied number is the result of multiplying the user's typed in number by 7. So whatever number the user types in, we have to multiply it by 7, and that's going to be our favorite number. So it says, for example, if you type in 6, the output message would be 6 is maybe your favorite number, but 42 is my favorite number, because of course 6 times 7 is 42. Now, I've given a hint here as well, but without even looking at the hint, let's give this a bash. Hey, that could be a good pun for Git bash. I promise never to bring that up again. I'm sorry. Okay, so what do we need to do? We need to get the user's favorite number. Right, that's their favorite number. Okay, so let's get the user's favorite number. So user favorite equals input. What is your favorite number? Okay, so we have a variable here, which I'm calling user favorites. Sometimes if we want like 2 words in the name of a variable, we might separate them with an underscore. That's the user's favorite number. So that will ask and take in the user's favorite number. So that's right. So write a Python program that asks you to type in their favorite number. You should then multiply that number by 7, store the result of the multiplication in a variable. So let's see. Let's say our favorite equals, and what we want to do is multiply whatever number the user typed in by 7. So user favorite multiplied by 7. Remember that the little star icon, which is above number 8 on my keyboard, is the Python symbol for multiplication. So our favorite number will be whatever number the user typed in multiplied by 7. And it then says we should then print out a message to the screen. So I'm going to be a bit, if you don't mind, I'm going to grab that message and I'm just going to copy paste that into the program. So I'm going to say print. I'm going to paste that in. But now we need to we need to replace the placeholder. So we need to say user number may be your favorite number. So let's take that out and put in user favorite. So user favorites may be your favorite number, but a multiplied number, which our favorite number is what we want next in here, but our favorite, there we go, is my favorite number. So print user favorite. So user favorites may be your favorite number, but our favorite is my favorite number. That meets all the requirements that were outlined in the exercise. So, I have my doubts though. Let's run this and see what happens. Right, so it seems okay so far. What is your favorite number? So let's, I don't know, I don't actually have a favorite number. I won't say 7 because we want to multiply by 7. So maybe I'll say I don't know, 2. Is that really what we wanted? 2 may be your favorite number, but what's that? Is that 2,222,222 is my favorite number. That doesn't sound like 2 times 7 to me, which would have been 14. So what happened there? Why is that not 14? Why is it 2,222,222? Well, the reason has to do with this line here. User favorite is a string. Everything that the user types in with the input function is a string. So even though I typed in the number 2, Python didn't put the number 2 into user favorite. It put the string 2 into favorite. So suddenly this is no longer a multiplication of two numbers. This may be a number, that may be the number 7, but this is not the number 2. This is the string 2. So what did Python do when it saw the multiplication icon with 7? What it did was it printed out the number 2 repeatedly 7 times. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it just repeated the string 7 times. That's not what we wanted. We wanted it to multiply the number 2 by the number 7. So we need some way of converting the string 2 into the number 2 so that this multiplication can take place properly. So now might be a good time to take a look at the hint. I gave a hint for this. The input function always gives you a string, even when the user types in a number. To multiply, you need to convert the string to an integer. I.e., remember, an integer is a number that doesn't have a decimal place. To do this, you can use Python's built-in function int, where int is short for integer. And as I said, remember, an integer is a number with no decimal places. To use it, provide a string inside the brackets. For example, if you use my number equals int brackets string 7, it will convert the string 7 to the integer number 7 and store that number in the my number variable. You can also provide the name of a variable inside the brackets of int that stores a string to perform conversion on that variable as well. So we need to use Python's int function, which will convert a string into a number. So let's try that. So what we need to do is use the int function on the user favorite variable. So we'll say int and brackets. There we go. So we're now saying our favorite number is equal to whatever user favorite is converted to an integer and multiplied by 7. So now this integer, of course, is a number, so the multiplication should take place as we originally intended. So let's run it. Again, what is your favorite number? So I'll type in 2. Perfect. 2 may be your favorite number, but 14 is my favorite number. That's what we wanted from the start. So the int function here has taken the string that was in user favorite. So it's taken the string 2 and it's converted it into an integer, i.e. a number. So then it does the number 2 multiplied by the number 7. And of course that gives 14. So the number 14 is stored in the our favorite variable. So that's why we get 2 maybe your favorite number, but 14 is my favorite number. And that is the solution to the challenge. And converting from one type to another is something that is done a lot in Python and in many programming languages. So this is an example of how we convert from a string to an integer. You can also convert from an integer to a string if you need to do that as well. And even, for example, from a string to a float. Remember, a float is a number that has a decimal place in it, and vice versa. So there we go. I hope that was an interesting new piece of knowledge for you. And that is the solution to challenge exercise number 6. And in the next one, we'll look at the solution to the last exercise, which is number 7, which is also listed as a challenge.